Hello guys, Crisp here and welcome back to another video. Today my friends, I'm going to be testing the RX 570 in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I am running it with a Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM, as you can see right here. You should get the same FPS with something like a Ryzen 3 3100, so you don't need the Ryzen 7 to achieve the same FPS. This is the 8GB model of the card, as you can see right there. I overclocked it just a little bit and we are running the latest AMD drivers, Adrenalin 2020 20.11.1. Alright, let's go through the settings. I'm going to be playing this one at 1080p resolution with 100% resolution scale, so it's actually native 1080p. Right now it's set to the low settings preset, but I'm also going to be testing it with the medium, high, maybe very high and ultra high settings if high performs well, but I'm not too sure. I've played around a little bit on low settings and it doesn't seem very promising. But anyways, low settings preset, this is it. Can we actually lower this? Nope. Okay, so there we go. And here we go, my friends. We are now in a small city in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as you can see. It's right here. I'm gonna start counting our FPS right now. This game does stutter quite a bit sometimes, so keep that in mind. If you want a stutter-free experience, maybe wait for some patches, because the game seems to be a little bit broken right now. Can you please go? Oh my god, no, I'm gonna die. I didn't die. Okay, everything is fine, my friends. The frame time spikes there are completely insane. 1% lows are already at 19 FPS, 17 now. Wow. This game is extremely demanding and it's also extremely unoptimized because it stutters all over the place even on low settings with the 570 8GB. If you had the 4GB, it would run the same, by the way, because we're only seeing 3 point something gigabytes of VRAM utilization. The textures do look quite unimpressive, like look at that, they look bad. We can see at least that in mountain areas, for example, and forest areas, your FPS are gonna be pretty damn good. Like, this is completely smooth and playable, 60 plus. It's pretty decent, you know, it's pretty decent. If it wasn't for the stutters, I would call this an amazing experience, even with the 570. We gotta remember that this is a budget GPU these days. It costs like $120 or something like that, 140 sometimes for the 8 gig model. Let's go this way. Yeah, all right, there we go. We're in the town area. We're dropping into the 50s. Sometimes we do drop into the 40s as well. This is actually proving okay, 40 something. Yeah, alright, there we go. So in the other town area where we tested the 5700 XT, we got like 45 FPS on the lowest with the 570. That's exactly what we've seen here as well. So it seems like both areas are really similar in terms of FPS, okay? I guess if you are okay with a couple of FPS drops or stutters every now and then, well, the game is actually playable with the 570. You can see that you can get 60 FPS on average. Alright, so that's it for the low settings. I think we're gonna go to the other town on medium settings and get into a fight as well, so we can see the FPS there. It's pretty much the same basically in the fight, but I'm gonna show you that, okay? So let's stop it right there. 58 FPS on average, 45 1% lows, couple of stutters here and there. Not really that big of a deal, but it's a little bit off-putting. 1080p, 100% resolution scale, medium settings across the board, as you can see. And let's just disable motion blur, of course. Also forgot to do that. Oh boy. Okay, anyways, so here we are. Let's start counting our FPS. It's not too bad, you know. I will say that 30 plus FPS is completely playable in this game, and if you have something like the RX 570, you should aim for that experience, because medium settings looks like miles better or kilometers better than low settings. The textures look kind of decent right now. There's like the snow looks a lot better as well. There are more reflections, shadows and stuff. Yeah, overall the game is just way prettier on medium settings, and I'd honestly probably play at these settings if I had an RX 570 as my main GPU. As this is a single player title, you can definitely enjoy it with 30 FPS. Even if you want to lock your frames to 30 and get a console-like experience, you can do that at medium settings, I believe. It's not really stuttering that much right now, which is great. We've only seen like one single stutter at the beginning of the benchmark run on medium settings. And now we're gonna go ahead and make our way to another town, small town, and actually kill everybody there. So yeah. So far so smooth. I should probably start saying that actually. So far so good, so far so smooth. Yeah, it's a great experience on medium settings. I did not expect that after seeing low settings stuttering so much. Maybe it was just loading in some things still, because I just started the game on low settings, you know, and now it has actually rendered in everything and loaded into the memory. What I know is that these stutters shouldn't have been there to begin with. Even if they smooth out after like 5 minutes of gameplay, you don't want it to stutter at all. So please, Ubisoft, if you're watching this, and they're probably not watching this, but yeah, it would be great if we got like an optimization patch that fixed that, because overall the game looks very pretty and it runs okay, you know. It's a 570 after all, budget card, as I told you, so it's normal that we're not reaching 60 plus FPS in a recent title like this one. But it's still great that we can have a very good visual fidelity experience and decent playable FPS, you know. The stutters are game ruining every single Jesus Christ, okay, everything is fine. Yeah, the stutters are game ruining, of course, but we're not really getting them right now. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna die. Please, please, please. There should be an option to roll in the snow, seriously. Like, that would be so much easier than running towards the water. I can't set myself on fire anymore in this one, because otherwise I'm probably gonna die. Okay, there we go, didn't stutter. Oh, no! How did you... I did... How did the fire catch me from there? Oh boy, okay, we need to explode things from a distance. Oh, there we go. Okay, just gonna get this guy, alright, or gal actually, and this one, okay, very good, looting everything as well. So this vegetation area is actually pretty demanding as well. As you can see, 35 there, not bad at all still. It's still a very nice, there it is, there's that guy once again, just chilling there, looking at the entrance. And there we go. Now outside of city areas or town areas, you are gonna get closer to 60 FPS. I'm gonna show you that in a little bit. As you can see, we are in the 50s now, almost touching 60 at times. Yep, it's great. If you're just roaming around the map, you can actually see a smoother experience. Alright, here we go, guys. Oh boy, high settings is getting a little bit rough here for the 570. 1080p, 100% resolution scale with the high settings preset. I'm just gonna do motion blur and let's go. Okay, so 33 frames. Well, as long as it doesn't drop from 30, which I believe will happen probably in just a little bit, it's a decent experience. Yeah, 29. I mean, you could overclock a 570 further than this and play on high settings with 30 FPS locked, but you know what? Medium settings was definitely way more stable. If you have the 8GB model of this card, set the textures to high, leave everything else on medium, you'll get pretty much the same results as the medium settings that I tested here in this video, and the game will look a little bit better as well. Yeah, I don't feel like high settings is very adequate for the RX 570, just because in town areas you will drop from 30 FPS and it becomes very noticeable, like the slowdown, of course. Yeah, don't really recommend this. Alright, we're arriving now, guys. Here we go, let's raid this once again. Wow, this is like the most raided place in this entire game. Alright, 30s. Yep, back to 30s now, to the low 30s actually. Still, okay, 29 there. You know what? It could be doable. It could be doable. Of course, very high and ultra high won't be playable because it's gonna drop into like the mid 20s and the low 20s, but at least on high, well, it could be worse. I expected worse. Yeah, there we go, okay. Boom. Doesn't really drop too much. God damn it, I always forget. Gosh, why do I do this? Oh my god. What are you doing there? Were you in the bathroom? What? The guy was just hidden there. Yeah, interesting. It only dropped into the 20s a couple of times. Again, if you overclock, an RX 570 further than what I did here in this video, it might actually be very playable above 30 all of the time. So that's something to keep in mind there, you know. But if you're running a stock version of this card, you're probably gonna get like a couple of less FPS, maybe 3. It's gonna become a little bit too rough at high settings. I'm gonna leave it like that, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. Let me know if you are gonna pick up this game with the RX 570, and yeah, looking forward to see your comments down below. And as always, love you all. Bye bye.